YouTube, this is Quantum Fear, and welcome to Friends in WoW. So, as that, we have WoW, we have me and my friend in the background on the kick-ass Firebird over back there.
Yes.
And he's waving while he's riding. Multitasking, people. Multitasking. We are on fire. Okay, so first off, we have both seen the WoW movie. So we're probably, not a guarantee, but we're probably going to talk about it a lot. So if you haven't seen it yet, and for that one person that is watching this, you should go see it. Okay,
yeah, so the spoiler alert tag is officially out there.
Yeah, so, just be wary. Otherwise, it's not our fault. Right. So, suck it.
I'd say no nasty comments in the comment section, but they're being comments in the comment section.
Yeah, exactly. Freedom! We have freedom!
We can say almost anything we want to because nobody's paying attention.
Exactly. Okay, so do we want to go talk to this dude first, or do we want to go fly in and save the Black Stinger thing?
Which fly? Talk to which dude?
I don't know. I got a question mark.
Oh, yeah. Just fly up. He's up at the top of that little tower up there.
Oh, there he is.
There's no follow-up. It's just turn it into him.
Because, I'm lazy and I don't want to use stairs.
Right. Well, you have flying. Why would you use stairs?
Exactly.
So my thought was we'd start with the Spirits of the Feral Fen, which is down to the right, because there's also a kill a named person for their item right next to it.
Spirits of the Feral, down bottom right.
Yeah, so Spirits of the Feral Fen.
There it is.
And then as we go along, if you see those burst cap mushrooms, just fly down and pick one up.
Oh, in that case, I want to go get this one right here.
That's kind of why I said.
Oh, there's two of them over here.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
They're pretty common, I believe.
All right, there's one. They didn't show this in the movie. I can tell you that.
What? The going around picking things up?
The fetching quests. Can you imagine if they did that in the movie? Sir, I need you to go get this. What?
Wait, that's a thing?
That's a thing? People are actually going to do this? All right. There's another one over here. I got to get this one.
Ooh.
Did I tell you, I was playing Rom, my main character, and I was like, I was doing something, and then I'm like, hey, look, there's a mineral. I went over and mined it. It felt amazing. I was like, oh, yeah.
That'll clear the shakes.
Yeah. It was great. I loved it. Okay.
I'm heading towards the actual quest.
Oh, there's another. Yeah, but there's all kinds of mushrooms around. I got to get the mushrooms.
6.
I know, but mushrooms.
Hippie. Let's go.
I'm not hippie. That would make me a stoner, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
If I ate mushrooms.
Depends on your definition of hippie.
I suppose. So I got my official third tray of my Invisalign in now. My teeth hurt, but
it's a good hurt.
It's good to know. I don't know if it's a good hurt, but it hurts. it's one of those when you put new trays in, they hurt for like 2 or 3 days. As like the roof, as the top of my teeth are kind of wrenched in a specific direction, and then the next 10 days is basically my teeth getting used to it and my jaw realigning to kind of get to be okay.
Well, I would call that again. That's why I would call it a good hurt, because at least you're getting something out of it. So.
Yeah. I'd rather do this and get a tattoo. You can't find anybody nowadays except me, it seems, and you, as far as I know, that doesn't have a tattoo of some sort.
There's quite a few people, but yeah, it's not.
Hey, let's kill this guy. Ah!
Yes. So we spent enough time now talking about it. So the Warcraft movie.
Some Warcraft movie. Argument number 1.
No, I don't know if it'll be an argument because I think you and I both enjoyed it.
Yes, well, I did. That's the so was I right? So when I told Xavier, I'm like, okay, I saw it first, and I was like, okay, so I figured he would like it because there's a lot of wizardy looking things. There are wizards looking like wizards, blowing crap
doing
up,
wizard things,
doing wizard things. Not like Gandalf, he's an awesome wizard. He's like the original wizard, but he was like when he did a spell, it would be like a flash, or the background would get all dark or something like that. This was kabooey. There's like ruins glowing everywhere, and just lots of. I mean, you're just like, oh yeah, something's about to happen.
So yeah, I knowing that as soon as I figured out the character was Khadgar, I was like, well, yeah, he's gonna be all magey all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, no, did you know who the kid was? You probably wouldn't care.
Wait, which kid? The one that
the wizard kid.
The wizard kid? Yeah, like the one that went along for the ride, basically. Yeah, that was Khadgar.
Right. Well, okay, so you knew who Khadgar was.
Well, Khadgar was the wizard that basically he went through the dark portal, and because he's the one you interact with in Shatrath. Yeah.
Right, but he's also the one who he like kind of becomes a. God, he marries an elf at some point, and like he goes back in time to the first invasion of the Burning Legion.
Oh, okay.
and he's part of the reason why that succeeded.
Ah, okay.
So yeah. So that was in a book. I don't know if that's canon or not, but it was a pretty awesome book. So it was worth
I believe the
reading.
books are all canon. I'd be surprised if they weren't. So
Yeah.
I will say that the moment where he polymorphed the guard, I laughed
Yeah,
so hard.
I figured you'd be like, oh yeah, he's
Oh,
gonna
I
really
was like,
that.
I was like clapping in the theater. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I figured you would do that. You would be like, oh geez.
I was also when they were riding along and there was that one Murloc sticking there and they went, "Rrr." I'm like, yep, okay, there's
Yeah.
Murloc.
Well, like basically in the beginning of the movie, they just have this, hey, things are normal scene,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And one of it is that like there's this Murloc just sitting by a bridge in
On the way to Goldshire. I think.
Goldshire or something like that. I was just like, I see what they did there.
They also had a fight scene with the Wilhelm scream, which was in the background, but I'm
Yeah.
like, there it is.
Yeah. Well, that's in like
Yeah,
most
it's-
movies.
well,
I think
it's
there's
kind
like
of
a
a-
law
it's
or something that says
It's kind of a tradition now. It's like if you're gonna have someone
Yeah.
die, at some point someone's got to do the Wilhelm scream.
got to be a Wilhelm scream somewhere. Oh, over here
Yep.
somewhere. Let's see. What do we got?
That was
So we're gonna
enjoyable.
leave this area and go-
I thought it was interesting the way they did the portals,
as far
like
as
the way they were designed. Like, because I was expecting them to just kind of wave their hands and actually have like kind of how the portals look in the game, but they were like with the way they drew on the
pop
ground.
away, but
and-
it was like that. They had a drawing around. I enjoyed that too. I think they set it up for the trap at the end of the movie, where Khadgar was just like, okay, I'm going to deal with a golem by drawing this here and making him step into the and I thought that was kind of neat. I really didn't recognize the girl.
Corona?
Yeah, I was just like, who's that supposed to be? And I had
Yeah,
no
she
idea.
is part of lore. I know a little bit about her, but not too much.
Yeah, so what happens to her?
She, I'm trying to think what happened. Basically she was accused of murdering the king.
Sure, yeah, I
Which
figured that part.
I'm assuming they're following canon when they had him ask her to kill him.
Right,
But
yeah.
obviously no one else knew that except for them.
For them,
So
'cause, yeah.
basically there was a big rift between her and Lothar because Lothar thought that she killed the king.
Right,
it
yeah.
took-
I'm sure they'll address that in the future
Correct.
movies.
I would assume so. But anyway, and I think she basically goes on to kind of help, not really seal the rift, but kind of get the Horde and the Alliance kind of talking, but only to that level of we're not going to,
I'm not going to kill
exactly,
you right
we're
now.
not going to kill you on sight, but stay away. Because it really was I think it was pretty much until Thrall when there was actually an actual bona fide peace treaty.
Yeah.
thing.
So what happened? How did Thrall become the war chief when she was there?
I don't.
What happens to her physically? How does she die?
That I'm not sure of, because as far as I know, she's still alive, but I think at some point she either steps down or just Thrall takes over. Because Thrall,
Okay.
obviously he wasn't called Thrall, he was called, Goel, it was his real name. He was called Thrall because the people that find him end up, I think they end up basically putting him into like gladiatorial fights.
Yep. Right. That's how he grows
Right,
up.
and they call him Thrall
learning how to
because
fight and stuff.
he's their thrall. So it's kind of almost like a slave name. And eventually he develops.
Ooh, edgy.
He develops his shamanistic powers and basically says,
Right. Yeah, I read. Is that a book?
I think it's
That's
a book. Yeah.
I think, and I read that. That was pretty cool. Where he finds he escapes, and then there's he goes and finds what's left of the tribe, etc., etc.
Right.
So, what do you think of the way the orcs look?
I liked them for the most part. I mean,
Yep.
they were they looked kind of like how I expected them. I will say,
Yep. I never realized how much bigger orcs are supposed to be
Yeah,
than
they
humans.
really are.
I mean, they made them out to be. I mean, not just broader, but just really a good 2 feet, 3
which
feet
is true.
taller.
I mean, the orcs are supposed to.
Well, no, I'm not. I don't deny that, but I'm just like, well, if that's the case, how big are the Taurens?
Oh gosh, yes, right. I will say I was not surprised, but I was a little disappointed by how you only got a small glimpse of the other races.
Yeah, I mean, did we see the trolls?
No.
I don't think so.
We didn't see.
Yeah, basically, I mean, but I believe they pretty much told you that right in the beginning, where it was like, this is humans and orcs.
Yeah, well,
this is
hardcore
us, original
This is the
Warcraft,
movie version of the
you
first
know?
game.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Which again, it's fine. It's a good story to start off with.
Right, right, but you have to admit though, it was very much okay. We're done. Here's the world. We'll make We'll make a different movie now. And that's pretty much what it was. It's like, okay, we're gonna start making a different movie. But one thing that killed me was that when I was reading some reviews, the reviewer was like, "Oh, well, after a while, all the orcs look the same," and I'm just like, "No, they don't. They don't look They look completely
Yeah.
different. And I'm just like, but then again, as I watched, I'm like, there's a lot of stuff in that movie that if you're not a fan of the game, at the very least, you're not going to see the differences. They're just going to be big green
Right.
things, you know.
But they were again, some of the even amongst the green ones, they had different shades of green.
Yeah, the different shades of green. I actually find it really funny when, like, you got that generic orc helmet, you know, with the spike with the horns. I was like, ah! I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so that's I got all the totems.
Me too.
Which
So we are right near.
we got to go kill a specific guy.
Gotta go
right?
find
Okay,
Blackstain.
right here. All right, let's go.
So I think he's a beast.
All right, let's look for beasts.
You are. Oh, hey, look, he popped up right next to me.
There he is. Whoop.
Yeah. So I thought that the some of the fight scenes were done very well.
Yeah. The fight between Thrall's dad, because his name's not coming to, and Darshar and Wow.
God.
Gual.
Oh, yeah,
That
the
guy.
bag. Ha!
Yeah.
Why can't I think of his name off the top of my head?
There's apostrophe in it.
Yep,
Makes it hard.
Gul'dan.
Gul'dan. There we go. You're just like, oh
Yeah,
damn.
that was like two. I mean,
And it was-
you kind of got a sense of the weight of the characters, just like
Yeah, with like thud.
yeah, exactly.
Thud.
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 It's like, ooh, this is
Yeah.
gonna suck.
Yeah, it was really, but I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, again,
I enjoyed the fight. I was like, oh, poor Durdan. I guess I know in the back of my head, yeah, he should die for story
Right.
reasons. But I was like, oh.
I know, I'm like, I kind of like the guy. Like, I found myself rooting for. quite
Yeah,
a few
I
of the
liked him.
orcs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so did I. It's like maybe that's why people play orcs so much, is because they find humans boring.
Yeah, it's like, I've seen a lot of people. They're like, yeah,
So
why would I play a
kill
human?
you guys?
I'm a human. Why would I play that when I can be that thing?
Yeah.
Now, one thing I was going to do, so the small glimpse that you got of the elves, those elves looked like blood elves to me. They did not look like night elves.
Night elves so blood elves are high elves at that point. They do not look the same. They in fact don't even know. The high elves don't even know night elves exist at this point. They think they are.
So at that point, the night elves were not part of the alliance.
Exactly, the high elves were. It's not till the third one that they introduced night elves.
Okay, because I was going to say they were wearing a lot of red and they kind of had that like.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean exactly. I mean those are the precursors to the blood elves, but technically they're called high elves.
Okay, that's why. Okay, I was kind of wondering about that because I'm like, wait a minute, but
because and the reason we're going a little lore heavy this episode, I guess. Do you know? I mean they lose their power, the source of magic power,
and then that's when they turn to the blood magic.
Right, exactly. The Sunwell, because the night elves use the night something, where the blood elves used past tense the Sunwell.
And then wasn't it the undead that shut that off, or they stole it?
They corrupted it.
Yeah, because I remember there was something about the undead being involved, and that's why blood elves.
I gotta get a breath here.
Yeah,
Not really. I got like half a breath left, so I guess.
you got a minute and a half. Let's suck it up. I did.
So that was cool. I like the dwarves. When I saw Ironforge, I'm like,
Yeah,
damn.
when they showed like the outside of Ironforge, I'm like, oh. So,
yeah, that was
so here's
cool.
something that it bugged me, but I don't know if it really should. The layout of Stormwind was different in the movie.
It was they made it look very much
bigger, but
it was
also the placement of things was wrong. Like based off where the front gate and where the coastline was, they swapped the what side the castle was on, and so it was like.
Yep. And they didn't what's the word? Like the statues. The statue area didn't exist.
Well, that could possibly be just because at the time they didn't have all the heroes. Like, because I think isn't the mage statue that you see in Stormwind, isn't that of Khadgar?
No, that's Meda.
Not Medivh, is it?
Yeah, no, it's Medivh. Because at that point, Khadgar doesn't matter. He's just a lowly mage who in fact is a bad one because it's considered because
he walked away from the Kirin
basically
Tor.
Was like he walked away from the Kirin Tor, and that's like, oh, you're a rogue.
Yeah, you're done, by the way. And
thank you.
Probably close.
No, yes.
And probably close to running out of breath.
No, I go back up.
So next one would be Wanted Boss Grolgak, which is to the west of us.
Okay, all right.
So I'm trying to think. So it didn't take long before I started realizing that Medivh was kind of a dick. It's like,
Yeah. Well, in the books, he
Yeah.
is too. I mean, the story behind him is that he's what they the guardian of the realm, the dimension
Right.
basically. But what they don't tell you in the movie was that he is actually, the lady that was in the cube
the lady that was in the cube in the movie or in the game.
in the movie.
I'm trying to think. The lady that was in the cube.
Khadgar went into it. She's like, so am I supposed to go in? And the guy was like, well, I don't know. He's never supposed to
person
be
that
there.
Meryl Streep played.
Right. Well, I believe that's Medivh's mom, who is like a demigod of some sort. Because in the books, she was taken on one of the main Burning Legion's bad guys, like the head guy. And while the bad guy couldn't win, neither could she.